Here we are at the wonderful Mill residence. I'm talking with this fine gentleman here. Sir, could you please introduce yourself to us and tell me a little bit about yourself?
My name is Bobby Mill, and we live in Arlington, Texas. And
How old are you, Bobby?
I'm 75 years old. Soon be 76.
Going to be 76. Excellent.
And in reasonably good health now.
Great.
Not always, but now.
Not always. It's been about 2 years now since your laryngectomy?
Yes, sir, it's been right at 2 years exactly since they took it out.
Okay. And right now you're using a Provox Vega voice prosthesis, the extra HME cassette, and the Stabilobase adhesive. So you've got the right combination that works for you.
It's working real good for me. We had to try one or two others before we came up with this thing. The doctor worked with us to come up with one where I could speak. And because I went for a period of time that I wasn't able to speak. But then I was able to start speaking when we came up with the right one.
Great, great. You seem very comfortable doing that. Is that correct?
Yes, it's become quite normal for me to speak with it. Sometimes I probably strain a little bit more than I need to speak. But I'm thankful that I have a voice that very seldom anybody ever has a problem understanding what I'm saying, and that's great.
Excellent. So, Bobby, what were some of the things that helped you through this challenging time of your life? Seemed like you had a pretty good support group with you.
My family has been with me all the time, and that's been very important. I have 2 sons and their family. My daughter-in-law has all been very supportive. My wife, of course, has been very important. One thing that did happen that I have to say that was probably important for me. When I first had my trichotomy put in, before radiation, the nurse, whenever I came to myself, the nurse told me that I'm not going to help you, you're going to have to help yourself. And so from then on, she was kind of kidding but serious at the same time.
Sure.
I had to start doing for myself, and I think that has helped me all along for the last 10 or 11 years. Being able to kind of do for myself more and be independent. I'm not saying that my wife hasn't been important in my support group. They've always been very encouraging to me and everything. So I'm real thankful for that I've had these people behind me all this time. And of course the Lord's always been with us and strengthened us and helped us all along the way. And gave us, I think, the positive outlook in life.
Sure. Now, before all of this, and before you even retired, what was your profession?
Well, I've been an ordained minister since about 1960. And also I was a construction man. I built houses and commercial buildings and things like that through the years. And sometimes I did both at the same time, and sometimes one or the other.
So you certainly loved being construction, being a pastor. Now with being a laryngectomy, what are some of the things that you enjoy doing?
Well, one thing I still really enjoy is working with wood. It's always been something I felt, well, of course, the Bible says Jesus was a carpenter. And I think he put the wood here and built the beauty into it. That if we can bring it out a little bit and it'd be a blessing to someone else. I think that's really the real purpose of doing some of the things I do now. Is bringing the beauty out of the wood that God put there. That maybe it would be a blessing to somebody else.
Wow. So you spend a lot of time doing woodworking?
I spend probably on an average from, I'd say 4 to 6 hours a day, either doing woodwork or working on commercial coffee machines and tea machines for my son. Sometimes I do that about 20 hours every 2 weeks.
Wow. So you keep yourself busy?
I don't have much time to sit down, but I'd always thought whenever I retired I'd never do anything. I just can't say it. And I'm thankful I've got the strength to get up and go do things.
Sure, sure. Do you think being a laryngectomy has held you back from doing these things?
No, I wouldn't say that it has at all. There's certain things I have to do. Things are kind of different. Sometimes you have to improvise a little bit.
Sure. Bobby, if you had the opportunity to speak to someone that was about to undergo the same journey that you have, as far as getting that laryngectomy procedure done, what advice would you give to that person?
Well, one thing I would say is to keep a good positive attitude going in. I told my granddaughter, which we're very close, whenever I was fixing to do this, I told her to not be sad, because I wasn't aiming to be sad. It was something that I was aiming to go through and come out on the other side and be okay. So keeping a positive attitude of that fact that maybe you don't have another choice, you have to go through it. But it's not the end of your life. You may have to improvise a little bit. You may lose your strength to some extent, but you can come back. And I went from a time of having so much congestion that I'd go through boxes of paper towels every night. And now very seldom am I bothered with it. So the journey gets better as we go along.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you very much, Bobby. We do appreciate your time and inviting us into your wonderful house here, meeting your family. Certainly an inspiration. And I can't wait to someday walk into Williams-Sonoma and see your woodworking there.
Thank you so much for coming to our home. It's been great getting to know you folks.